Okay, let's talk about something that makes people uncomfortable, and it's privilege. Specifically, the privilege that comes with holding a Spanish passport and being an EU citizen. I want you to understand that I wasn't born with this. I'm Filipino, I came to Spain, I lived through the residency requirements, I went through the bureaucracy, I waited, and eventually I earned the Spanish citizenship. But here's the thing, the moment that Spanish passport landed in my hands, I crossed an invisible line. I went from being someone the system was designed to keep out to someone the system was designed to let in. And honestly, it's one of the most powerful advantages I have in my life because I know exactly what it's like on both sides of that line. My Spanish passport isn't just a travel document. It's a golden ticket that opens doors I used to watch other people walk through while I waited in different lines. I remember what it was like before the visa applications, the proof of funds, the hotel reservations I had to book to prove I wasn't going to stay illegally in countries I was only visiting. The anxiety every time I approach passport control is really something else. And now, here's what I can do that I couldn't do before. First, I can live and work in 27 countries without asking permission. Not just visit, but live, work, start a business, buy property, access healthcare, all without visas, work permits, or jumping through bureaucratic hoops that would take years and thousands of euros for someone from outside the EU. I can also travel to 186 countries visa-free or with visa on arrival, while friends and family back home are spending weeks gathering documents, paying fees, and hoping they'll get approved for a tourist visa. I'm booking flights on the go. The world has become genuinely more accessible to me simply because of this Spanish passport. Next, I can actually afford to travel within Europe without fear of going bankrupt. This one hits different. When I was earning in pesos, a weekend trip to another country meant months of saving and careful budgeting. One flight could cost half a month's salary, and a week in Europe, that was a once in a lifetime splurge that required serious financial planning. And now, I earn in euros and travel within the Eurozone. A Ryanair flight to another EU country costs 20 to 50 euros. Weekend trips to Finland or the Azores aren't budget destroying decisions, they're just like normal life. I can explore 27 countries without changing currency, without worrying that one emergency will drain my savings, without calculating if this trip means I cannot pay rent next month. That's not just visa-free travel, that's actually being able to use that freedom without financial anxiety. And lastly, I have access to consular protection across the globe. If something goes wrong while I'm traveling, I'm not just protected by Spain. Any EU embassy can help me if my own EU member state, which is Spain, does not have an embassy or consulate. That's 27 countries looking out for me. Let's talk about money because this is where the privilege becomes impossible to ignore. My purchasing power changed overnight. When I was earning in Philippine pesos, I was doing okay. But the moment I started earning in euros, everything shifted, I tell you. The same work, the same skills, suddenly worth multiple times more. Not because I got better at my job, but because I changed currency zones. How crazy is that? A Filipino remote work, for instance, earning 50,000 pesos a month is doing well in the Philippines. That same person doing the exact same work from Spain earning 2,500 euros. That's not even minimum wage here, but it's still 2.5x more purchasing power globally. And if they're earning competitive EU rates, the gap becomes bigger. You see, I didn't become a better remote worker when I moved to Europe. The value of my time just multiplied because of where I was sitting when I did the work. And this changes everything about how you live. When you earn in pesos, travel is a luxury you save for. When you earn in euros and live in the EU, travel is just something you do. Those recent trips to Finland and the Azores, they didn't require months of financial planning. I didn't have to choose between traveling and having an emergency fund. I actually know people from back home who like to travel as much as I do, And every travel that they do, serious financial planning is needed to know whether they can afford it without going into serious debt. Meanwhile, I'm casually booking weekend flights because they cost less than a nice dinner out. Again, same work ethic, same intelligence, different currency, different life. Next, location discrimination disappeared. When I was applying for remote work opportunities from the Philippines, I'd see Europe or US only on job listings all the time. Or worse, the same job would pay different rates depending on your location. And ever since I moved to Spain, I was offered the market rate. No questions asked, no excuse to discriminate me because of my location. The quality of my work didn't change, but my location did. And suddenly, I was worth 5 times more. Again, how crazy is that? This isn't about being smarter or working harder. It's about access. And access is privilege. As an entrepreneur, this privilege is even more tangible. I can now source products from China, sell them across European marketplaces without dealing with customs for each country, and expand my business into new markets without the legal nightmares that non-EU sellers face. When I'm planning to attend Canton Fair this year, source products from Japan and South Korea, I don't worry about visa issues anymore. I book my flight and go. And when I want to expand product line for my brand or launch new product lines across Amazon Europe, I'm not dealing with import restrictions between EU countries. It's one market. And when I need to access business tools like Stripe or Kickstarter, tools that are not yet available in the Philippines, I can easily sign up. I now have access to payment gateways and business services that used to be behind a geographic wall. And that's not hustle, that's privilege. Now let's talk about the uncomfortable truth. Here's what people don't want to hear. Yes, I earned my Spanish citizenship. I lived here legally. I met the requirements. I passed the test. I did everything by the book. But let's be brutally honest about what that really means. I was privileged enough to even have the opportunity to come in Spain in the first place. Millions of Filipinos would do everything I did and more if they could just get that first chance. They have the work ethic, the skills, the determination. What they don't have is the opportunity. Yes, I'll admit, I got lucky. Right place, right time, right circumstances. I worked hard, yes, but hard work alone didn't get me here. Opportunity did. And now I have access to opportunities that people who work just as hard or harder will never get. But before you assume anything, I didn't come from a rich family. I didn't come from a family with Spanish lineage. It actually took me 10 years to be where I am now. I'm not saying I didn't work for my citizenship because I did. I'm not saying EU citizens, whether by birth or naturalization, don't work hard or don't deserve their success. I'm not saying the solution is to make everything harder for everyone. What I am saying is this: the system is designed to let very few people through. And once you're through, you need to remember what it was like on the other side, because most people are still there. The bottom line is, I am grateful to be Spanish. I love the EU. I love the freedom and opportunities my passport gives me. But I also remember standing in visa lines. I remember the uncertainty. I remember being treated differently because of where I was born. The difference between then and now isn't that I suddenly became more deserving. It's just a passport, a piece of paper that changed everything. And that is it. If you have experienced the same shift, or if you're still navigating the other side of this divide, let's talk about it honestly in the comments. And if you have questions, feel free to send me an email. If you found this video helpful, feel free to like and share. And if you're feeling generous, why not subscribe? Thank you for watching, and I hope you get something worthwhile from this video. Hasta luego!